Hello everyone and welcome to Inbox. I'm your host Heather Young and we have a great show lined up for you. First, we'll take you on a trip to Berkeley to look at an organization whose focus is change in the Middle East. Then I'll take you inside the emerging trends of dating apps and how technology is changing everything about the way people socialize. And finally, a tour of a one-of-a-kind museum that proves no matter how much technology changes, some things stand the test of time. Now reporter Nora Alaouita shows us how a woman's passion is changing lives in the Middle East.
Inshallah.
Don't let her pleasant demeanor fool you. This lady is a fighter, an activist. She's a woman on a mission to disrupt the status quo, and nothing is more important to her than children who are caught and hurt in war zones. Barbara Lubin is the founder of MECA, the Middle East Children's Alliance. It is an organization that has been helping children for the past 26 years. In Gaza, water is not only scarce but also contaminated, causing many children to become ill and some die. This is the Maya Project, a water purification initiative. Maya is Arabic for water.
So far we've built 60 water purification desalination systems in schools in Gaza. So that's a lot of thousands of kids who not only have water to drink that they can drink, but they also can take home every day in a big pitcher.
The Middle East Children's Alliance also provides food, clothing, books, and medical supplies. These ambulances are an example of MECA's contribution to hospitals in Gaza. In addition to aid, MECA has awarded scholarships to over 700 Palestinian students in the past 9 years.
We've raised many millions of dollars, and we have built playgrounds for Palestinian children. We've supported schools. We've supported many projects for women and children.
Barbara's humanitarian work in Palestine is nothing short of remarkable, but what makes it especially incredible is how it all began. It is not every day that you hear of a Jewish woman dedicating herself to the rights and well-being of Palestinians.
Barbara grew up in a conservative Jewish family, but even as a young woman, she embraced social activism. She protested the war in Vietnam, fought apartheid in South Africa, and later became intensely involved for the rights of disabled children. In 1969, Barbara's son was born. Charlie is autistic.
You know, because when Charlie was born, there was nothing. And there were no laws. It really enraged me.
That fueled her passion to make things better for her son and other disabled children, and Barbara ran for school board president in Berkeley.
People in the disability rights community came to me and they said, "Barbara, we want you to run for the school board." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I did, and I won.
During her term, Barbara Lubin developed a friendship with a group of young Palestinians, and they challenged some of her deep-seated beliefs.
They said, you know, you go to El Salvador, you go to Nicaragua, you're part of the anti-apartheid movement around UC, and you don't say anything about Palestine.
Puzzled, Barbara reminded them that she was Jewish, and so she told them it has everything to do with it.
I grew up in a very right-wing Zionist home. We were Jewish, and we supported the state of Israel blindly.
That conversation shook her worldview.
It was those kids who really beat Zionism out of my head. I started meeting with them, and they kept giving me all these books to read.
She was perplexed by the contradictions between what she had been taught and believed and what she was learning.
Just couldn't believe that Jews would do this, that Zionists would do this.
Then in 1982, the Sabra and Shatila massacre struck in Lebanon. Lebanese militia, supported by Israelis, attacked a Palestinian refugee camp, killing thousands of civilian men, women, and children.
I was disgusted and I was really angry. I felt like I'd been lied to. You know, I had been lied to by my parents, by my rabbi, by everybody that I knew.
Horrified, Barbara decided she needed to visit and see with her own eyes.
The trip really changed my life.
Soon after, she founded the Middle East Children's Alliance.
I said, I'm going to do something on this issue, and I want to make a change. This is the Middle East Children's Alliance.
With the help and encouragement of Barbara's life partner Howard, Mecca opened its doors on May 1st of 1988.
It was mostly her idea to start an organization around the children, and I had some of the the more practical skills about how to find an office and how to file papers and those kind of things. So that was my part of it.
The organization is supported by their for-profit business, Alliance Graphics. It is headed by artist Joss Sott.
There certainly was a lot of t-shirt business that we could get. So the business grew from that, and now it's grown to a multi-million-dollar 16-person operation.
The graphic design and t-shirt printing business is a union shop. All of its products are made at its headquarters in Berkeley, California. Mecca also sells a variety of Palestinian products. All their revenues go to help families in Palestine. Mecca's accomplishments have been without a doubt impactful, but Barbara still aims for more.
It's a drop in the bucket, what we've done.
Barbara hopes to build more water purification systems and launch a solar panel system across all the schools in Gaza.
I think I've opened up some eyes, a lot of eyes.
Raising $19 million to aid children in Palestine, Lebanon, and Iraq, the impact of the Middle East Children's Alliance is undeniable. Now don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll take a look at the ever-changing dating scene and how technology is playing an increasing role. Welcome back to Inbox. The game of dating is taking a faster approach to your heart with the help of technology. Growing in popularity, dating apps are becoming the new and easy way to meet people. With a swipe of your finger, a world of eligible men and women await you. See exactly what we mean in our next story.
From Hollywood, the dating capital of the world, it's The Dating Game.
The quest in finding the one comes in all sorts of fashions. From blind dates, game shows, to plenty of movie trips.
You complete me.
And now, through technology, the confusing and exciting world of dating is now being fast-tracked to your phone in the form of an app. With just a tap of your finger, dating apps such as Tinder, OkCupid, Scout, and Grindr hold the key to a dating database.
I have 500 men on call in my pocket at all times. It's kind of ridiculous, like literally drowning in men.
Though raining men for avid Tinder user Quinn Mattingly, how she manages all of her prospective dates is quite simple.
It'll show you a picture of either like a really hot guy or someone who's maybe not so hot, whoever. So if you like them, you press heart or swipe right. If you don't like them, you press X or swipe left. If you've both liked each other, it will match you, and you can then message through the app. And then that's where you can trade numbers, get engaged, meet the parents. It's kind of yours to do after that.
With their popularity exploding, specialized dating apps for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community have also popped up. Benjamin Wu has been a user of the app Grindr, similar to that of Tinder.
Many of guys on gay dating apps, I think it's over 50%. They not only just looking for friends, probably they're looking for friends with benefits or just only hookups.
For some, it's about more than sex. It's about romance. It's about finding the perfect match.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch.
Joy Nordstrom is a Yenta, a matchmaker, and she warns to be cautious and smart when using these apps, but worries that this type of dating could enhance a shopping list perspective. That is, if your criteria isn't met entirely, there's always someone else waiting in line.
The biggest one is like being able to figure out if this person is portraying themselves accurately or if they're not. I know that the statistic for online dating sites is that 26% of the people who say that they're single are actually married. So how many people are using dating apps, and has that increased the amount of people that are lying about their status?
An already cryptic subject, dating apps have made it more convenient to date, but maybe even harder to build something with meaning.
What is this doing to dating itself?
I think that technology in general is keeping people from being focused, keeping people from really being connected to other people. Because when you're connected with somebody and your mirror neurons sync up and your spindle cells connect and you're in a good place, you raise the internal body chemistry of the person that's sitting across from you. If you're stuck in your mind or thinking about checking your text messages, you're negating that and you're not getting that wonderful effect.
Possible loss of reality and the ability to truly connect with a person don't exactly encourage the most optimistic view of dating apps. But to some, the relaxed atmosphere is just the motivation they need.
I think anything that gets people out of their comfort zone and out there meeting people in person is a really good thing. So I think that it's taking a step farther from being online to being a little bit more interactive.
Now married, Sean Horrigan and Nicole Gambino are a couple that took advantage of technology playing a role in their love life early on, when they met on the dating website Plenty of Fish.
I was doing my last search and I was going to quit the website, and Sean's picture popped up and I was like, oh, this guy's handsome, and clicked on it, and his profile was so funny and so well written, and I was just like, oh, this sounds like a really good guy.
Well, with Nicole's profile, you know, I thought she was very cute, and she mentioned that she liked sports on there, and I worked in sports at the time.
And this I can definitely tell you the song. This was Wanted Dead or Alive, was how we ended the wedding.
Nicole's from New Jersey.
How do you feel about dating apps?
If the apps were out 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, or if I was a younger person doing it right now, that'd be second nature. So it'd be really convenient and, yeah, kind of nice, I guess.
Convenient, yes. Effective, well, that's still to be determined. As Quinn keeps a positive yet simple attitude when searching through her many of frogs in order to find her prince.
I like to tell people you get what you pay for. Tinder is free. So let's keep our standards high, but our expectations low.
Tinder is among the most popular dating apps downloaded, and since its start in 2012, they claim to have made over 100 million matches and have had 50 marriage proposals. We're going to take a break, but when we return, reporter Quicker Zhang will give us a quick behind-the-scenes look at an American pastime that refuses to change, and the people who are very proud of it. If you're into gaming, you know that it's all about the latest console. Almost every month, the newest game hits the market, and Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo compete for the top spot, and for good reason. In the US alone, it's an industry that makes over $65 billion a year. But before it all started, the most popular game was a box with gears, paddles, and a ball. Yes, I'm talking about pinball. And at the Pacific Pinball Museum in Alameda, pinball isn't just celebrated as a game, but a hallmark of American history and culture.
It's not the latest video game to hit the market, but a game that has withstood the trends and tests of time. Pinball was the most popular game decades ago, and no wonder it's a lot of fun. Dating back to the 19th century in France, pinball was created as a condensed form of billiards for the upper class. Eventually, pinball made its way to the States and became widely popular in the 1930s.
With one ball, I need 1,000. All right, here goes.
Now,
I believe that pinball is a game of luck and a game of skill. I want to show you this game. This is Playboy. It's from
Andrei Masenkov is somebody who enjoys the thrill of the game.
So I'm going to shoot it over to this side by hitting it up off of here and then to this flipper. So I'm hitting the ball up and over, and then I'm going to shoot that left ramp. Here it is. I've got it on the right side. It's under control, and now I've got that shot up the ramp. It's going to come down from there. Be ready. It's a fast, hard game. So I'll give it back to you because you lost it quickly. The new games will do that. Oh yeah, you got the bell. Slow it down.
Oh! I just tried to stop the ball, but I couldn't.
Yeah, sometimes.
He first entered the World Championship of Pinball back in college.
And that was 20 years ago in 1994. And I said, okay, I'll try it. I'll see how I do. And I think I did okay.
And okay means 3 World Championships and so many trophies.
Let the game begin.
Pacific Pinball Museum in Alameda, California continues to attract people to enjoy the game.
Pinball is this box that, you know, you put money in it. It's very American because it wants money. It has creative artwork on it, and it's kind of crazy.
We like pinball from everywhere, so I like to get some of the foreign games.
Apart from the 80 games in the museum, Michael also has over 1,000 pinball machines in the warehouse.
I love setting them all up. It's so fantastic when they're all set up, you know, and you get to see all the art. You just walk by and just play whatever one you want. It's pretty neat. You can tell the difference between an American game and a European game. The American games, they sprayed it, they stenciled it.
Yeah.
The Europeans, they silk screened it, so you get a much more accurate, you know.
Oh.
You gotta look at it like that.
Some of the machines are over 50 years old, and you can even smell the history in them.
There's 2 kinds of histories that you can smell. One is the good old-fashioned history, and then there's expensive history, which means that something burnt inside and it's going to cost you some money. It's what we call the expensive smell.
In addition to being a fun game, pinball has a rich artistic component.
The machine itself would be pretty boring without the artwork to draw you in, and I think that the art probably plays the biggest role in making pinball so successful.
Behind the back glasses of pinball, there are many terrific paintings that make each machine unique. Darcy is reproducing the artwork on the machines into giant murals. Her friend Eric Koss is doing a painting for a game named Genie.
Before I start doing anything with Genie, I have to play one game and have an appreciation for the game, and let the game sort of infuse me, and then I will try to reproduce its backglass, and that's sort of like my, my meditative process.
I think you should make stuff, whether you're good or bad, you know. Whether it's your own or you're copying someone else's, you're still developing a skill. You're still starting a conversation. And I think that's what we're doing with this mural project, is we're starting a conversation between something that was considered to be degenerate art or not an art form at all, and we're saying, hey, we think this is real. Come take a look.
Pinball is not only challenging them in the game, but also in the art.
1, 2, 3, hold my breath.
Totally.
Maybe close one eye and, you know, load up the brush and you just go for it. And
but that's such a nice
sometimes
feeling
you have
too.
to hope for the best, and sometimes you really just, it goes all wrong, and then you have to really figure out how to.
The charm of pinball brings the appreciation of the world all the time.
I miss a lot of my friends because I work so hard at this. I don't see them anymore. But when it's all done, I think it's an important part of American culture that I want the public to be able to come and experience this. And they couldn't before.
By playing pinball, everyone can feel like a kid.
It was amazing. It was like walking into this whole other world. And the colors and the graphics were really bold and really cartoonish. And it just reminded me of being a kid.
pinball probably has to do with technology, and new technology will help drive pinball forward with new features and functions and fun.
You know, a lot of kids don't even know what a pinball machine is anymore, but I tell you, in the 70s, every kid did. And so, you know, for me, I really wish that pinball, you know, were more popular and were more present.
An interesting fact, pinball was actually illegal in America during the 1940s. Back then, it was considered a form of gambling because it was a game of chance and not skill. It wasn't until the mid-1970s that the game and its players were allowed to come out of hiding. We're going to take another commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. That's all for this episode of Inbox. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. Thanks for watching. My name's Heather Young, and we'll see you next time.